I'm 74 years old, and I'm about to tell you something that might upset you. Everything you think you know about achievement is completely wrong. And the people who should be telling you this, the successful people, the motivational speakers, the ones with the awards and the accolades, they're lying to you. Not deliberately, maybe. They're lying to themselves too. I spent 50 years believing the same lies you probably believe right now. That achievement equals fulfillment. That if you accomplish enough, earn enough recognition, reach enough milestones, you'll finally feel complete. That the resume matters more than the life. I was 62 when I collapsed. Not a heart attack, thank God. Panic attack. Sitting in my car after receiving my third Industry Lifetime Achievement Award. Couldn't breathe, couldn't move, just sat there shaking, staring at this plaque with my name on it, wondering why I felt absolutely nothing. That's when I realized I'd spent half a century achieving things that didn't matter. Building a legacy nobody would remember. Collecting accomplishments that meant nothing. This isn't for me. I've already wasted most of my life figuring this out. This is for you, for the person grinding right now, thinking the next achievement will finally be enough. For anyone who's measuring their worth by what they've accomplished. Listen, the clock is ticking, and you need to understand this before it's too late. Here's the lie they sold us, the big fundamental lie. Achievement brings meaning. Accomplish things and your life will matter. Build something impressive and you'll feel fulfilled. That day never comes. You know why? Because achievement is a moving target. There's no finish line. No amount of accomplishment that finally makes you feel like you've done enough. You cross one threshold, feel good for maybe 48 hours, then you're hungry again, anxious again, chasing the next thing. I told myself at 28, after I get this promotion, then I'll relax. Got the promotion. Did I relax? No. Now I needed to prove I deserved it. After I win this award, then I'll feel validated. Won the award at 35. Felt amazing for a weekend. Monday morning, back to the grind. Already worried about next year. After my book gets published, then I'll know I've made it. Book got published when I was 43. Sold decently. You know what I thought? Not, I made it. I thought, why isn't it selling better? The goalposts always move. Always. You achieve your goal, get that dopamine hit, that little rush of validation, then it fades. Now you need more. Bigger. Better. It's a hamster wheel, except you're measuring the miles like they matter. I published 3 books. One became a textbook used in universities. I gave keynote speeches at conferences, probably 200 of them over my career. I won industry awards, not just participation trophies, real recognition. I built a consulting practice from nothing, grew it for 30 years. My clients were Fortune 500 companies. And you know what? None of it mattered. I mean, it mattered in those moments, those 48 hours after each achievement, when the dopamine was fresh and the validation felt real. But then real life continued, and the achievements just became things on a shelf, trophies gathering dust, lines on a resume nobody reads. I had a friend, David. He was 61 when his body just gave up. Cancer, aggressive kind. David had everything achievement-wise. Published more than me, spoke at bigger venues, had a Wikipedia page for God's sake. 2 weeks before he died, I visited him in hospice. You know what he talked about? Not his publications, not his Wikipedia page. He talked about his granddaughter's laugh, a fishing trip he took when he was 12, the way his wife looked in morning light. He actually said this to me. I'll never forget it. All those things I accomplished, they're not even memories. They're just facts. Cold facts about a person I barely recognize. Is that what you want? To die surrounded by accomplishments you can barely remember because you were too busy achieving them to actually live them. Because here's the thing about achievement. It's always in the past. You did the thing, got the recognition, now it's over. It doesn't sustain you. It doesn't warm you. It's just done. And you're on to the next thing, trying to fill that same hole that never fills. The mornings I could have slept in with my wife. We've been married 51 years. You know how many Saturday mornings I actually stayed in bed with her? Maybe 20. Maybe. Because I was always up early, working on the next project, the next achievement. The phone calls with my sister. She lives in Seattle. I'm in Boston. She'd call every Sunday. I'd answer while working, half listening. Yeah, that's great. For 25 years. She stopped calling 5 years ago. We barely talk now. My son played baseball in high school. Good player too. I went to maybe a dozen games in 4 years. Dozen. Because I had a book deadline, a speaking engagement, a client meeting. He's 38 now. He doesn't invite me to things anymore. Can't blame him. The photography hobby I loved at 25. Gave it up at 27 because it didn't advance my career. I still have my old camera somewhere. Haven't touched it in 45 years. My mother's last 3 years. She was in assisted living, 20 minutes from my house. I visited twice a month, 1-hour visits. Had to schedule them in my calendar like business appointments. She died on a Tuesday. I was finishing a chapter. The missed opportunities, the roads not taken, the love you didn't express because you were too busy achieving things that didn't love you back. I was 62, like I said, sitting in that car with that plaque. Panic attack. Couldn't catch my breath. And in that moment, I had this thought. What was it all for? 3 books, hundreds of speeches, awards, recognition, a career people would call successful. And I couldn't name a single moment from any of it that actually mattered. Not one moment where I felt genuinely, deeply alive. After that, everything changed. I stopped taking speaking engagements unless I actually wanted to give them. Stopped chasing awards. Stopped measuring my worth by achievements. Cut my work to maybe 20 hours a week. You know what happened to my career? Nothing. It was fine. Turns out I wasn't as essential as I thought. Nobody is. But the last 12 years, they've been richer than the previous 50. More real, more mine. Honestly, it's embarrassing that it took me 62 years to figure out what my son probably knew when he was 7. I'm grateful now. Truly grateful. Not for the achievements. Those feel hollow, honestly. For 12 more years to get it right. For a wife who somehow stayed through decades of my absence. For a son who's willing to try again. For the chance to finally live instead of just accomplish. And here's what I learned, the embarrassingly simple truth that took me 62 years and a panic attack to understand. Achievement doesn't create meaning. Connection creates meaning. Presence creates meaning. Doing things because they matter to you, not because they'll impress others, that creates meaning. The meaning I was chasing through achievement, it was in simple things the whole time. Conversations where I was actually listening. Mornings where I wasn't rushing. Work that felt meaningful to me, not impressive to LinkedIn. Being there, just being there, that's it. It's almost insulting how simple it is. You know what I realized? I was collecting achievements like they were life. Like a resume full of accomplishments meant I'd lived a full life. But life isn't what you achieve. Life is what you experience, who you love, how you show up, the moments you're actually present for. I'd built this impressive tower of achievements, and I was standing at the top looking down, realizing everyone I loved was on the ground, living their lives, and I'd climbed up here for nothing. So let me ask you something, and I need you to be brutally honest with yourself here. If you died tomorrow, would you be satisfied with the life you've lived so far? Not would your obituary sound impressive. Not would people at your funeral talk about your achievements. Just, would you be satisfied with how you actually lived? Think about it. Really think about it. If the answer is no, then what are you waiting for? What achievement do you need to unlock before you give yourself permission to actually live your life? What award, what promotion, what recognition will finally be enough? I'm 74 years old, on borrowed time. I don't know, maybe I've got 5 more years, maybe less, but so are you. We all are, really. You just don't know your number. You think you have decades to figure this out. Maybe you do. Maybe you have 6 months. You don't know. None of us do. The question isn't whether you'll run out of time. You will. The question is, are you spending that time achieving things or living? So here's what I need you to do. Not consider doing, not plan to do. Do. Stop chasing achievements that don't fulfill you. Stop measuring your worth by accomplishments that'll be forgotten in a generation. Stop sacrificing presence for productivity. Stop putting achieve more ahead of live better. Start being there when you're there, not physically there while mentally working. Start doing things because they bring you joy, not because they'll look good on paper. Start calling the people you love just to talk, not to update them on your achievements. Start protecting your time for what actually matters, not what impresses others. Start choosing experiences over accomplishments. Start choosing connection over recognition. Start choosing life over legacy. Because here's the truth. Your legacy is how you made people feel, not what you achieved. Start now. Not after this project, not after you hit your goals, not after you prove yourself. Now, today, this moment, because you might not have another one. I'm 74 years old. If I'm lucky, maybe 5 more years, probably less. Time is running out, and I can feel it. If this resonates with you, if you're sitting there realizing you're chasing achievements while your life passes by, subscribe. I have more truths to share, and honestly, I don't know how much time I have left. Leave a comment. Tell me what you're going to do differently, not what achievement you're reconsidering, what life you're going to start living, what moment you're going to be present for instead of working through. Because the clock is ticking, for me, for you, for all of us. I spent 50 years achieving things that meant nothing. Everything I built, everything I won, everything I accomplished, none of it mattered. You know what did matter? The moments I was actually there, the conversations I actually had, the love I actually expressed. The question isn't whether you'll run out of time. The question is, are you spending your time achieving things that don't matter or living a life that does? Don't make my mistake. Don't wait 62 years to figure out what I'm telling you right now.